No, there's just, I think it's just the formative stage.
This is Tim Burchett, a Republican congressman from the state of Tennessee.
Want to get right into the reason that we're here. As I think many of you saw, if you follow us this past week, Rep. Tim Burchett hopped on Twitter, and he often does pretty hateful, ugly things, but this week he really topped himself and shared a picture of this man, Denton Loudermill, who was in Kansas City at the Kansas City parade, and said that he had been accused of being one of the shooters at the parade, accused him of being, quote unquote, an illegal alien, to use Burchett's language.
We'll put up the inaccurate tweet so everyone can see it. Burchett posted Denton's photo with the caption being, "One of the Kansas City Chiefs victory parade shooters has been identified as an illegal alien." Why did he do this? Because the border is their priority. And even when they get everything they want, they still turn it down. Burchett has been a goof for some time and may have even suffered the wrath of his fellow Republicans.
The former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was accused of giving a kidney punch to Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett. Now, Burchett claims that he was still in pain hours after this happened. He believes it was in retaliation for Burchett being among that group that kicked McCarthy out of the speakership.
Maybe he should have taken his own advice.
These are areas you have to keep your hands off of.
Because it appears Denton has now lawyered up.
And so let's just be clear with people. What were you handcuffed for? What were they doing?
They handcuffed me because they said I didn't get out of the crime scene fast enough.
Okay, and so they handcuffed you, they moved you aside, and there were no charges.
I didn't get charged with anything or nothing.
How many people do you think were posting about this, Denton? Are you very in tune to social media? Did you see it happening?
No, I am not. My family is, but they said there's thousands of people saying things that are incorrect.
What would your message be to people like Tim Burchett who rushed to conclusions and posted this about you?
Sometimes to think of what they say or post, think about what's the truth before they make their move.
Impossible not to feel for this guy, especially when Burchett, a United States congressman, spreads false, defamatory news about a U.S. citizen to score cheap political points. The Knoxville News' Allie Feinberg would write, police ultimately detained 3 juveniles on suspicion. They fired shots that killed a woman and left 22 people injured. 2 have been charged, and 1 was released after police determined the minor wasn't involved. Burchett posted on X a photo that showed Loudermill and falsely claimed he was an illegal immigrant who committed the shooting. Burchett's tweet was reposted by over 2,000 people and was interacted with by at least 4,000. Loudermill, a father of 3, told local media he has received death threats since those images of him at the scene went viral. But he's not taking legal action, at least for now.
What steps have you taken, if any?
Right now, the only steps that we're taking is trying to get all of the media outlets, people like yourself and your outlets, to just walk this back through. And in doing that, we are uncovering more and more information, more screenshots, more posts of people that have said all kinds of untrue, hurtful, racist, several types of things in our pursuit to just clear his name. And so the legal part is unfolding as we walk this back and just have people disassociate that negative mass shooter from this Chiefs fan right here.
From the Daily Beast, before long viral posts surfaced alleging that a 44-year-old illegal immigrant named Sahil Omar was identified as one of the shooters and had been arrested by Kansas City police, citing the images of a detained Loudermill. The AP noted that the name Sahil Omar has been used to make similar erroneous claims about other recent tragedies, likely preying on fears about immigration and crime, and you know who they are preying on. His attorney would also say, Mr. Denton has received death threats over a lie, over misinformation. He didn't do anything wrong, didn't commit a crime. So please run, tell that, get the truth out there, help us clear his name, help us save his life. Even with all this info, Tim Burchett would never apologize. He would never say sorry for putting a target on an innocent man's back. Instead, He opted to write, "It has come to my attention that in one of my previous posts, one of the shooters was identified as an illegal alien. This was based on multiple incorrect news reports stating that. I have removed the post." Weak sauce, Congressman. Weak sauce. Now, what I would recommend is if the RNC has any fees left to pay your legal fees after likely covering for Donald Trump and his suits because they are bending over backwards for him, I would recommend reaching out to Ronna McDaniel. Just a piece of advice.
Would you have liked to see an apology there, Denton?
Yes, I would. I would like to see that. Yes, I would.
Right. We not only would like to see that, we expect to see that, and he should want to do that. If I tweeted something out to hundreds of thousands of people and I was wrong, I would apologize because I don't want to be wrong. And so if your intentions are to represent the American people, to represent them with truth, then you should want to walk that back. And from what I understand about Tim, Congressman Tim, this isn't one of his first rodeos with making statements that have harmful and hurtful consequences.
Far from it. He makes a habit of hopping on his feed and talking about people in that way. And that's why he was in such a rush to do this in this moment.
Let me also say this. Denton and his attorney have been asking for donations with what I assume will be to cover his legal fees. We'll leave a link in the description box below. But if you can, please do donate to his GoFundMe. It would help out immensely. Here's where I stand on this. And we talked about this, I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, when we revisited the racist Oklahoma high school basketball announcer story, and a local outlet, the Oklahoman, had to pay an enormous fee, because they misidentified one of the two announcers. It does not mean that this guy committed no wrongdoing. His partner used the N-word, and it was caught on a hot mic, and this other guy did not say anything. He just let it slide. That was his wrongdoing. And it would be uncovered, obviously, that he's a huge MAGA guy, huge Trump supporter, but whatever. And I said at the time of that clip, I felt odd running that story because I heard two voices and everyone was rushing to judgment, at least the Oklahoman was, on the first guy, when I needed to get and have it be confirmed that it is that guy. Turns out it wasn't. The same exact line of thinking and school of thought goes to Tim Burchett. The problem is these lawmakers always feel like they are above the law. They feel like they are policemen in the field and they are immune from criticism. I truly hope that this man learns that there are consequences for his actions. Because a lawmaker, to do this over and over again, and Donald Trump is the king of doing this, but for him to do this over and over again, and many in Tennessee are fed up with this guy. Very fed up with this guy, especially when he's the one that wants lax gun laws everywhere, and then he comments on this story. Tim Burchett, man, shame. Terrible shame. And once again, I hope that he learns his lesson from this. Do I think he will? Absolutely not, no. Because they're protected at every turn. In closing, if there are any stories we missed, if there are any stories you would like us to cover, get at me and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DMs are open. Look forward to your submissions. Have a great day.